Welcome back to another episode of Change Agent, making a real difference with real estate. I'm excited about this conversation. I have Austin Bates with VIP Mortgage here. He is the reason that Homes for Good has become what it is today. Very grateful for his contribution and his commitment to helping me grow this platform. And I'm excited to have him here and just talk about, where we've come and where we're going, both in real estate and in Homes for Good. All right, welcome to this episode of Change Agent, making a real difference with real estate. I'm excited about this episode because we're going to be talking about a platform that means a great deal to me and is the reason I actually have this podcast, and that's a platform of Homes for Good. Homes for Good, as you heard me share, is kind of this grassroots fundraising platform that allows me to use the vehicle of real estate, which is my profession, to not just serve the transaction, but to serve the community. The idea came from my experiences prior to real estate, being in sports marketing, my marketing background with Red Bull, the agency world, working with athletes, and a startup that I had that used performance of athletes to trigger charitable donations. As I got into real estate, I wanted to use some of those components to kind of differentiate myself and differentiate my business. And I started sitting open homes, and it was a commitment to be in the industry, hear the voices of the community. And in those spaces, I realized there's more that could be done with it. So I triggered this idea that I ended up calling Homes for Good and thought I would do a campaign for all of 2018 that just served 12 local organizations that were making a difference in our community, meet with them, learn what it is they needed help with, and take their story into my conversations daily. What was supposed to be just an idea or a one-year fundraising play was really sparked into being something so much more, and I owe that to my guest today. A good friend and an expert in the lending side of real estate, but on so many more categories, I'll let him share. But Austin Bates with VIP Mortgage, when I shared with him the idea I kind of had late 2017, he honored me by, validating the idea about using my platform to educate and create awareness around great organizations, but to also support those at a higher capacity by him matching everything I raised. The idea at its core was $5 for every open house I sat, $1 for everyone that walked in, just my gifts to those organizations as a thank you for the work they're doing. It motivated me to be in the marketplace daily, to do what I was supposed to do already as a realtor, which is, hold open houses, interact with the community, ask questions, and engage in conversations. But when Austin said, I will match as your partner, let's build this, it really made me want to, think big with this and dream big with this and create something pretty unique to the space. And I'm just grateful for him and his commitment to being a part of this and his vision in helping us get to where we are today, 15, 16 months later. So with that, I want to introduce Austin Bates. Thank you for being on the Change Agent podcast, my friend. And
quite the intro.
We are here because of you, my friend. You are the catalyst that turned this into
this is because of me.
What it is today. This is because
I am Change Agent.
Yeah.
We knew each other personally. It was kind of cool how when we talked about this the other day or even this morning too, this whole thing came together from, us knowing each other through our wives and kids, and then you transitioning into real estate and then teaming up with a longtime business partner of mine in the real estate side of things that I've worked with for a long time. Our paths continue to just kind of cross. And so I remember telling my wife when you got into real estate and I heard about it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I've only known Tim a little bit, but he's going to be really good at this. I'm like, I see that he has everything it takes to be successful in this type of work. And then, fast forward and I come across, your business partner, your agent partner. And he's like, I hired this guy to come and work with me. And he's, lives up in Wingate and he's got a couple kids. I'm like, what's his name? And he goes, Tim McBride. I'm like, wait, shit, you got to be kidding me. Like, how? There we go, And so we got a chance to link up and hook up, and you told me what you were looking to do and your ideas, and to me it was a natural movement to get behind. It's just creating awareness and trying to put out a voice in the community for charitable causes in such a grassroots approach. But the research that you had done prior to and what you were thinking about doing and the fact that you were going to go to 20 open houses a month, in the heat and stuff is just, I had the easy job. I'm like, well, I'd love to be a part of it. No one's doing anything like that. Here's a couple charities that have been kind of near and dear to me. You embraced those early on, and the thing just kind of got legs and ran. So it was really cool to see it go from an idea, a thought, when we actually see it go from your transition from, a different career into real estate, from our, friendship, transitioning to also a professional relationship as well too. And then you coming up with an idea that to me is so cool, and, it's something so easy to get behind. And I still think I'm lucky just to have been there when you kind of came up with it, so that I was able to be the first person to kind of validate it. But, I think it's been validated, 1,000 times over ever since. So that's just kind of right place, right time, I guess, if you think about it. But, yeah, it's just a cool cause, cool campaign. It's fun. It's fun to learn about new charities. What I really liked about that first year that we did was the fact that we went from everything from First Tee of Phoenix to, not Boys and Girls Club in full, but, a specific branch that's been, near and dear to me, to something as big as Make-A-Wish. And to see, the every dollar account side of it across the board for all of that, scholarships for kids, for First Tee, donations towards a teen room and Boys and Girls Club, to, paying the baggage fees for Make-A-Wish, things you don't even think about. Like, this is a huge organization with a multi-million-dollar fundraising ball that they have every year. And you see all the amounts of money that they'll raise, but you don't think about, like, everything they do costs money, know? And when you talk about, we did an open house campaign for 4 weeks, raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And, you give them back $1,000 or $1,500, and they're like, you just paid for the baggage fees for, 18, 20 kids' wishes. It's like, wow, it's really cool how you could see that. So it's been fun. And it's, to now see year 2 start with a charity that we were working with last year, in an expanded role, so we could raise more money and bring more awareness to them, and be more ingrained with that cause too, and meeting the people that, spend their time and their days and their commitment, and they're not making, jack for money, and they're committed to running these organizations, their time, their volunteer hours, their commitment to helping kids, to helping raise money, to, tough jobs, daily calls, fundraising, having tough conversations with parents, of underprivileged kids, or I'm sure it's sometimes having to turn people away for funds where they just not enough funds to help them, and really getting to know these people, and the admiration for what makes them tick, and how they got into it. I mean, you can, I leave being like, I haven't done crap with my day to day. It's these guys have really stepped up to make a difference. So it's been fun. It's been exciting. And the cool thing is, like we talked about, it doesn't feel like we've scratched the surface too. I mean, Phoenix is such a big city. Maricopa County is so large. There's so many organizations that are out there that are in need. And if you could if you're in there and you're in a line of work where, you're driving around with people, or you're sitting in open houses and you're talking to people that walk in, you're involved in the community, and you get them just talking about, change, causes, extraordinary people, fundraising efforts, things that they're a part of, people that they know that need help in these situations. Those conversations don't come up in everyday life. Something has to spark it, and it could be a Homes for Good folder at an open house, or a social media post, or whatever it is. If someone didn't, create a platform or opportunity for them to discuss this, then you might never know about some of these things. And that could lead to either a big donation for a charitable organization, or a new charity that we didn't know about prior to. So it's just continuing to put yourself and us kind of too in a situation where we're promoting conversation about change and community and giving back and doing better. It's because we involve ourselves with in all likelihood, the single most important transaction of a people's life. And that's where they, build a home and raise kids and raise a family, or downsize, or, or empty nest, or whatever the situation is, that's where they're at, the majority of their time. And we're involved with that. And that's community. It's important.
I think you hit on it right there. Community, home can be so much, but you want to purchase into a community, into an environment that you're excited about, right? And like you said, Phoenix is growing so rapidly. I think we're number 5 in the country. Expectations are, 1 to 4 million more people arriving in the next 10 years. California, thank you for everybody. We are included. But it's hard to know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And, like I said, real estate is a platform for having conversations every day. It's building relationships, but so much more of that relationship development is beyond trying to sell services or expertise in a transaction. It's about building trust. And if people are going to trust me to help them sell a home, I hope that they'll trust me to help them educate them around the community. And it's so natural to talk about great organizations and great people that make this city so great.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you touched on the fact that it's the storytelling, it's showcasing that a little bit can actually go a long way. And, you talked about Make-A-Wish. That was a spectacular campaign because it's such a powerful organization that changes lives. But when you get down to it, you can really see that there is an opportunity for everybody to help. Mm-hmm. And it's just being aware. It's being exposed to that type of information. And that's the whole idea around this. No one shows up to an open house or interacts with me and ever do I ask, please give. It's an opportunity just to share and create a conversation. I think you caught that from day one, and that's what's made it such a great relationship is that, we can just identify some great causes and let's go talk about them. Yeah. Let's go educate Phoenix on, this quarter, for example, that we did the First Day Phoenix, right? So we succeeded last year in helping them in our second month by sponsoring, 10 kids and their family to have access to the program for a whole year, based off of our meeting with them and them us understanding that, these dollar amounts can contribute this way. And they came back saying, let's do more, right? And this quarter, we got to meet with them and spend quality time with them in the community and celebrate this graduation that was because of the work we did a year ago. Yeah. That was something that was on their mind, but didn't really know how to put together. But because of what we did collectively in February 2018, May in 2019, we celebrated 34 kids, 45, I think, total, but some couldn't be there, and over 100 guests that graduated from their Part of Birdie program that hopefully will stay in the program and continue to have access to all the resources that the First Tee has for these kids and their families. And they did that because that's when they typically drop a lot of their students for many reasons. And a lot of it is getting in front of the parents to tell them, like, listen, golf isn't just a great sport, but it's a platform that can create so many life experiences and so much personal life development for your children and for your family. If you stay in it, here's what we can do. So it meant the world to them, and it meant the world to us to be a part of that collaboratively and to be a part of it in real time. You know, that first year, things started moving so fast. We're giving, we're involved, but before you know it, you're on to the next partner. And to do these relationships right, we really want to dive deep with them and understand them. So that's kind of the transition we're in, and it's exciting. Like the Giving Soul was an incredible start to 2019. This quarter's been phenomenal to be a part of a graduation celebration, totally unique to what we've done in the past. And I'm just excited to continue to have you be a part of this, have your input, have your kind of creative vision for it as well, and to continue to share organizations, because between you and I, there's lots we don't know about what other organizations we might care about. So we just keeping conversations open. There's more and more opportunities to continue to grow what we're doing into serving more.
Yeah, and like I said, it's an easy platform for me to support and get behind. And knowing that and seeing, you're right. When you do 12 months, you do 12 charities. You kind of jump onto the next one every once in a while. You're still, creating awareness, getting to know these people. But then if you dive in a little bit deeper, it creates an opportunity and platform to do that, to dive in a little bit deeper than to some of these things, continue those relationships and conversations, and say how can we help more, that's what, it's cool to see it go from a monthly to a quarterly thing and seeing the numbers go up, the commitment go up, the support go up, but then also being able to see more, from scholarship to graduation and like I joked earlier, who knows, the next, Tiger Woods could be in that group, and maybe maybe some kid was on a path that, he needed something else to do with his time, and that could have led him to a path of that white space where you get in trouble. And instead you work on your mental, focus and what it takes to, I know I don't have it. I can't go 18 holes without throwing my club and getting pissed off or, something. But I wish I would have learned something like that at a young age, because you're teaching these kids, muscle memory and mental focus and And the parents too. Some of these parents might work 2 or 3 jobs, and like I can't afford a nanny. I can't be there. My son's 13. He could be home by himself at 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have the ability to send him anywhere else, but he's just going to sit there by himself and do what, watch TV or go get in trouble, or that's where bad things start to happen. So that kind of hit home. I think seeing some of that stuff and seeing those kids and their ages and their families at the graduation and seeing what they've done. And these kids, they love golf now. It gives them something to do, and who knows, it could lead to a number of different things for them. But it's at the very least made them better.
Yeah. Yeah. So question for you, knowing that you've been a part of this from the start, we've seen a lot of, we've raised $15,000 plus in 15 months, 13 causes. What is it that is exciting you about where we are today and where we're going tomorrow based off of, all our behind the scenes conversations?
I mean, what excites me is that we could do more.
Yeah.
We had some of those months out of the gate where, I'm like, well, I'm going to give a little bit more because I want this number to be bigger, and it's in the middle of the summer and no one's coming in open houses and we've got a commitment onto something, but it's just, you always kind of want to do, in seeing what these causes are and getting behind them, you do want to do more. And it's, I think that's what kind of drives you to dig deeper in these situations, and take them a little bit more seriously, because once you start to see, okay, well, I could easily go about my day in business and not know anything about these causes or efforts and not have it impact me.
Yeah.
But once I've gotten myself involved, it's like now I can't, you can't uninvolve. Like, you're in there, you're a compassionate person, you see what's going on. And now it's like, okay, how can I do more? And that I think what's cool moving forward is that, we can do more. We want to do more. We do. It's not a 12-month campaign that we're done. Like, hey, cool, we pat ourselves on the back, we did good. It's okay, well, we saw that, but yeah, we could do so much more. We gave 10 kids scholarships. What if we gave 100? Yeah. We bought shoes for 15 kids. What if we did 30? And so we baggage fees for 15 kids. What about 40 kids? And then it starts to become real. And at that point, and then it's okay, well, let's dig deeper, and let's go bigger. Let's dig deeper. Let's give more. Let's and I think once, and those are the people that, dedicate themselves to this stuff every day. It's a special kind of person. And like I said, I feel like I'm very far away from it after seeing what these people do and what I do with my daily life. I think we all serve good and purpose and stuff, but it's I'm in a job that is, we're supporting people financially, getting them into their most important aspect of their life. But these people are committing themselves to helping underprivileged kids, and it's like, okay, well, the things that stress me out right now maybe shouldn't stress me out anymore.
Yeah, it puts life into perspective pretty quick, right?
But it makes me want to work harder to do more, and to give back more, kind of seeing that, and to support these people that kind of give their time and effort and livelihood to do this, to help these kids. And so I think that's what excites me about this is seeing, how these 3-month campaigns now allow us to give more, dig deeper, learn more, feel like we're more a part of those causes and communities, and they're things we're always going to be a part of, and that's what's exciting.
I love having you on this podcast for the reason that you're able to you're expressing your enthusiasm, you're passionate about this, because, I feel like sometimes I'm in a silo where I'm out in my day to day and I'm just talking about Homes for Good. I'm talking about how I see real estate as a vehicle to really not just serve the community, but build up our community and bring in, have it be a collaborative space for nonprofits and for-profits and individuals like ourselves to come together and kind of get behind a great cause and support that cause for the purpose of just wanting to help. So it's awesome to have you be a part of this, because you've been there from the beginning, but to have your voice connected to the passion as well, because that's what this is about, is bringing, the right people together, the right minds together, the right enthusiasm and passion, just wanting to go out and serve, and not for the reason that I get anything back, but just that we're here to help, right? We have these platforms that put us in front of people on a daily basis. And yes, there's value, so much value in what we're helping them with, but why not add a little more to it? Why not go beyond, the expectation of our roles and really create awareness, create education, and have fun, right? Create a product around it. like we're just scratching the surface. This is podcast number 3. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're here, we're collaborating, we're talking, and hopefully this is an opportunity where people will hear it, will see it, and go and reach out and tell us, check out this organization, check out this cause or this story. Because it is fun to get behind some of these bigger brands, but with that comes some conflict, right? Mm-hmm. They have, brand guidelines and expectations on how much they require in funding to get access to certain things. Part of what we want to build here is a platform that promotes and creates awareness through story, through content, podcast, video, media, if you will, social media, and to have those relationships with the nonprofits working side by side, pushing the content out, just creating more buzz is valuable. Some of the best ones we've done are with, Giving Soul is just a family.
Yeah.
Their hearts are in the right place. They're moving. It's such an honor to be a part of that, to help them take that next step that they're looking to have. All of them are amazing, but with each one, as long as we can keep it local, I'm just amazed by what I think we can create. And I love you said we just scratched the surface, because that's kind of how I think too. And we're going to keep testing the waters with different platforms. And I think this is going to be something fun, because we can get more and more people on it that talk about kind of their why and what they're doing. And again, just connecting the dots that real estate here in Phoenix is such a big industry, but there's so much potential in it that's just not being tapped into. And it's no fault to anybody, because, there's responsibilities and expectations that come with the job. But when you see real estate as a bigger part of this community, there's so many great stories and connections and conversations that we can have. And to do it right, we got to create great content and create great platforms. And, we're just getting started.
Well, it's true. I mean, real estate's been real estate and construction, a real driving factor in our economy, through the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
We can be blamed for the uptick and blamed for the downturn. And there's a lot of exposure that comes with that, just because in the real estate side of stuff, and in lending too, we're all individual entrepreneurs, if you will, and in order to grow businesses, we have to get out there in front of people on a platform, have a social presence. But you're right, what are you doing with that? Are you taking the fact that you do have a social presence, you have a following, you have access to media, podcasts, things other people might not have, and what are you doing with those? We're not here talking about rates and payments and stuff. It's different than that. It's talking about it, and the local side of it is important too. Building the local story in with us, because even Make-A-Wish probably started from some amazing person's idea at some point. Giving Soul, same thing. Love Pup, you get someone like John Jay out there with a great platform, same thing, and he's out there using that to create awareness for a cause that's important to him. But all of these are, ideas that were once started by extraordinary people that wanted to get out there and just do more and give back, and they might not have the avenue to or exposure that's needed to create as much awareness as it takes to be successful in those things. I mean, Giving Soul was the LeBron thing, right? What are the odds if LeBron's not there walking past this kid, his idea doesn't turn into something, he doesn't catch him in the crowd and come into a little bit of a social media, iconic moment there for him. This amazing idea might have never come to fruition.
It's true.
And, same can be said for First Tee, Make-A-Wish, and Love Pup, and Boys and Girls Club, too. Someone started that at some point someday. So it's cool. It's been fun. It's been really fun just to learn about more, too, because there's hundreds or probably thousands of charitable organizations that we still don't even know who they are.
Exactly right. And it's amazing with all my clients, I try to have the conversation with them naturally about, what we're doing in the community. And, I think everyone wants to do good and everyone wants to make an impact. And I try to make that experience available to them and in the transaction, buy or sell. And in those, I start to hear the stories that they care about and the passions they have towards organizations. So, even with every client, new opportunities are exposed, whether they're here locally in Arizona or they're, from out of state. There's been great opportunities to be exposed to so many great organizations, and that's the value being in a big city, is we've got a lot of potential here. And there's a lot of people that are going to need support because, like you said, they're overwhelmed with responsibilities in their day-to-day, and to have ambassadors out there just trying to help. And so everyone knows, everyone we work with, we meet with, right? We meet with them, connect, make sure that, it's a there's trust there and from both sides, that it's a partnership that can work, that they understand everything we raise goes directly to them and goes towards the programs that we identify that can benefit them, and that they are a reliable source, because I think we want to make sure that we're trustworthy, and that if people are going to give, that there are organizations that are responsible as well. I'm just excited to kind of continue to evolve it, continue to connect it to great organizations and categories that we have a lot of passion about. I think it's pretty obvious with us. Sports and kids and education are big platforms, but I know we've talked a little bit about some of the bigger ones we've done, but I just want to recognize the 13 we've done total, just so everyone's aware. And then if anyone has any suggestions, we're always open to it. But we launched in 2018 with the Boys and Girls Club, the Barker branch in South Scottsdale. I know it was very near and dear to you. That was an awesome initiative, $1,000 to start. Kicked us off. February, we went to the First Tee of Phoenix, learned about the scholarships. Timing was appropriate. Waste Management Open, people are kind of connected to the platform of golf. The game itself, I know for me, it's been a very powerful tool growing up, playing it pretty competitively, just love the game. So an easy one to get behind. Make-A-Wish was the third, and that was the local Arizona chapter. That was fun. As you said, when meeting with them, we understand that there is a need. Airlines cover fees, but not necessarily bags. So to help in that capacity was great, and getting people to understand that dollars raised in Scottsdale will support a Wish kid in Scottsdale. So it does stay local. April we went into Food for the Hungry. Just down, their headquarters are here right downtown. And an initiative they have called Striking Out Poverty. Nick Ahmad, starting shortstop, Gold Glove winner last year, had a hitting campaign to help clean drinking water in the Dominican Republic. We helped them raise over $1,200 for that, which was great. Again, sport, kept it local with Nick and the Diamondbacks. May, Impact Church, we helped send kids to camp, which was incredible. Experiences that may not have been available if we didn't step in. And then June, we went with a local group called Valley Guardians, which was started from a group of Canadians up in Saskatchewan that are taking a model up there of just having a day of fun and then coming together around an initiative locally to help. And they partnered with the Challenge Foundation, which was a great experience to help them. And then July was a little bit of a spin. We worked with someone I met in an open house who was a cancer survivor. Leukemia specifically, and she shared her story at an open house.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the whole idea was, she survived due to some special treatment. And I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm not gonna say the type of treatment, but chemo wasn't working, and she through the Mayo Clinic got access to a new procedure, and it worked. Put her into remission. She got her bone marrow, and now she's an advocate. She's a board member, and she's fighting to continue research for LLS. And she was an honored hero for the Light the Night walk last year. And by her sharing her story in a fundraising, friends and family fundraising program she wanted to do, we supported that. And then it goes on. Mask Mothers Awareness was in a great program, and there's the programs they put into schools to educate the faculty and the parents and the kids around relevant issues that are facing our kids. September, Alice Cooper Solid Rock Foundation helping a nutritional component in their teen center was awesome.
Your memory's so much better than mine.
This is this is why I'm doing it.
You got them in order too.
Yeah, I want to make sure everyone kind of gets recognized, because no one's better than the other. Right. They all serve a purpose. You mentioned Love Pup. That was a lot of fun. Everyone seems to love animals. You can't go wrong working with animals. But awesome to see what they're doing here. And for, like you said, John Jay and his family, their home is the shelter, if you will. They're the one, they bring in these animals and rehabilitate them and make sure they find homes. November was a great opportunity with the Better Business Bureau and their expansion with San Diego and other parts, and these ethical scholarships that they're making available. That was really neat. And then December, Corbin's Legacy, another great story through a lender with Old Republic Title. They introduced that to us, and just a great story there as well. So all of that happened in 1 year, over $12,000 raised, all amazing stories. And I would ask that people take time to kind of look them up and see if there's an opportunity for you in any capacity to better educate yourself on them or look into it. And then this year, Giving Soul was a recommendation of a family that, like you said, had an experience with foster care and then an interaction with LeBron James, and took that experience and turned it into something pretty special, where they're honoring these kids in the system with something pretty awesome and a brand new pair of shoes, making them feel loved from afar. So we're back with First Tee this quarter, and it's because of the success we had last year. And there's some really great campaigns coming up that we'll wait to release because we're still finalizing some details. But I'm really excited about the next quarter, and then we'll do the fourth quarter. We're still finalizing details there, but it's really exciting to see the interest that's come in, and the opportunities are always going to be there for us. So I'm just grateful that you're a part of this with me, that you are the voice that kind of stirred it to go big with it. So don't jump off the boat yet.
I'm seatbelts on, man. We're in it for the long haul, and
it's awesome.
And hopefully I could help to get further involved, maybe get some companies support behind me, and really try to help drive this thing into something incredible. I mean, who knows? Maybe it could. At some point, someone could be looking at you being like, oh, there was just a guy who had an amazing idea that's really come in and created a charitable organization now that maybe there's one cause that comes in at some point that becomes, what we really get behind, and this becomes a new Make-A-Wish, or, who knows? It's the opportunities are endless, the possibilities are endless on it. But you're right, it takes awareness, and if there's anyone out there that does have these great stories, or these amazing people that have started these incredible causes that could use exposure and could use money and awareness and fundraising. Those are the things that I like to hear about, the things that I'm not aware of, and what some of these people are doing, and locally especially, because there's so much need out there. And if any of us are in positions of being okay, then it's you could always be okay and not look outside of your little bubble.
Yeah.
But once you look, you can't unsee it.
Correct.
And I think more people need to look.
And well, with that, let's we'll make that ask to the audience, the people that do see this or hear this, we're open to any and all recommendations. It's part of the model of Homes for Good. It's not about, what myself or Austin thinks is a great organization. It's about what you think is a great organization. So as I say with every client, I never ask for them to give. It's just by them showing up into my day, a contribution is made on their part to support an amazing organization. So, but I also like to ask, is there anything that's near and dear to your heart? Please let me know, because there's so many things happening all around us that we can't all be aware of them. So any recommendations, please share those. I would love to reach out to them and just share what it is we're doing and how we're here to serve and be of service. I'm excited for the growth of where we're going. We're bringing more assets to the table. Like I said, video production. This is going to be a space where people can come in, like Sean Hens with Giving Soul sat here and shared his heart, shared what it is that they're doing and why. So it can be a platform for conversation and connection. And then obviously on the real estate side, if you ever need anything on that side, we're here to help in that capacity. This is real estate's a team sport, and Austin is an amazing team player in my circle of trust, if you will. So you've got a lot of amazing resources available to you, and we just want to help however we can. So Austin, thank you for coming on.
You bet, man.
This was a lot of fun.
It's been a fun ride. It's just getting started.
Just starting, and Change Agent, making a real difference with real estate. That's this platform. It's an opportunity to bring awareness, educate about the business, but more importantly, really connect our community around great stories happening here in Phoenix. So, with that, any last words?
No, just if you're listening, like I said, look around you. Talk to people, ask them questions. I had a coach tell me, have level 100 conversations. It's someone you don't know. Ask a question that goes a little bit deeper. It's just talk to people, and
I like it.
You're gonna find out what people are going through, and you might uncover some amazing people and amazing causes, but you're never gonna know unless you look or ask. So just look, be aware.
I love it. And so www.homesforgoodaz.com. That's our platform. That's where you'll see, everything we've done, where we're at, and where we're going. So great resources there and opportunities to follow along what we're doing, and more importantly, reach out and share with us, who we could be potentially helping. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Austin. I hope you had fun, because I did.
I did. Good blast, man.
All right, buddy.
All right,
back to it.
Take care, guys.